Hi guys, in this video I'm going to go over some problems that people got wrong during the circle quiz on Friday, and one of those problems that a few people got wrong was question 1. Alright, so here's question 1, and it says, given that AC and BD are diameters of this circle, what is the arc measure of BC in degrees? So we want to find the arc measure of BC in degrees. Now the first thing I notice is that with the given information, we have the 4K plus 159 and the 2K plus 153. Well, what we have here is we have vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. So we can set them equal to each other. Alright? So after you set them equal to each other, then you just solve for K. So I'm going to attempt to do this while holding the iPad in one hand. So what you do is you solve for K. And the first thing that I'm going to do in this problem is I'm going to subtract 153 from both sides. Hold on 1 second here. Alright, so subtract 153 from both sides, so minus 153 from both sides, like so. That's a 153. That's a 5, by the way, it doesn't look like it. Alright, and so what I have here is 159 minus 153 is 6. So I'm going to have 4K plus 6 equals 2K. Alright, 153 minus 153 is 0, which leaves us with 2K on this side. Alright, now I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to combine my K's. I do that by bringing the 4 over, subtract 4 from both sides, minus 4K here, minus 4K right there, and then subtract from the other side, minus 4K, and I'm left with 6 equals 2K minus 4K, which is negative 2K. Right? And then I solve for K. Divide both sides by negative 2. So divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2. And I get a K value of negative 3. Alright, so now I know what my K value is. So they give us that these are the diameters, meaning they're going through the center of the circle. They call this circle P in this problem, so I'll put a P here to symbolize that it's circle P. Alright? And they want us to find the arc measure here. So we know what this angle is right here. When we enter in our K value, we'll know the degree measure of this angle. And it turns out we'll also know the arc measure in degrees, alright? Because what we have here is we have a central angle. This is the center of the circle. It's opening up to arc BC. Now this is a central angle right here. And so whatever we get for our answer here in degrees, well, we'll get the same for the arc measure here. So let's find out what this is when we put K, the value for K in. So I'm going to do 4, so let me write the whole thing out. So it's 4K plus 159 plus 159, okay, and that will equal our value for BC. Alright, so we know what K is, so 4 times negative 3 plus 159. Alright, when you do that, you get this. 4 times negative 3 plus 159 equals 147. Alright, that's a 147 right there. Okay, so that means that this angle measure here is 147 degrees. 147 degrees. Since this is a central angle, that means that the arc measure is 147 degrees. 147. All right? So that's 147 degrees. That's a degree sign there. It doesn't look that great, but it's 147 degrees. Okay? So what did we do here? Well, we were given the equations. We were given that these are diameters, and we knew that vertical angles are congruent, so we set them equal to each other, like we did here. We did the math and isolated the value for k. Once we found k, we inserted it back into the equation and found the angle measure. We then realized that this is a central angle, and that central angles, whatever that angle is, will be exactly the same as the arc measure. So if the central angle is 147 degrees, then the arc measure is 147 degrees. All right, see the next video for the next problem from Friday's quiz.